Hello and welcome back to Bannerlord Modded. We're going to go into a battle assisting Thul here against Aradweir's army. You can see here we have a pretty similar amount of units, but obviously the combat strength is indeed in our favor. So also what I've done is I went into the options again in an effort to try and, well, maybe see a change in the amount of casualties we're having in terms of our companions, of course. And I basically decided, hey, you know what? Let me see if I can just completely disable it. So what I'm going to do, well, what I have done, in fact, is I have literally just disabled any tweak whatsoever with death chance associated with it. In other words, everything is basically now hinging on the realistic difficulty setting, and that is it. So hopefully that's going to make a bit of a difference, because I still would like, you know, there to be some kind of jeopardy in some case, because for me specifically, I would like to see that, you know, I mean, generally I don't want people to die, obviously, that's not my goal here. I really don't want to lose any really amazing companions or anything like that, but generally I don't really want to play in a situation where a lot of people are running into a huge amount of destruction and death and massive amounts of arrows flying all over the place, and then nothing happens. You know what I mean? It's yeah, it's a little bit weird. So we'll see what happens. I'm gonna participate in a couple of fights in this episode, and we're gonna see how it goes. And yeah, we're actually doing some pretty nice damage with my two-handed sword right now. And I did increase, I believe, my vigor stat a little bit, so I now have 10 in vigor, so I should be having a little bit of learning rate for our two-handed. So maybe if I'm able to gain a little bit of extra, then that's going to be kind of nice. Maybe I'll be able to make it to 200 or something like that. If I don't, then obviously that's perfectly fine, but I would very much like to make enough to hopefully get to the next level, because getting to the next level is definitely going to give me that focus point that we so desperately need at the moment. And we're going to see how that goes. But yeah, I believe this is actually the last army that the Battanians have available to them. And I think after this, they're basically going to be done. I don't think that they are going to be able to do anything else after this, if I am correct about that. Because obviously, I really don't know whether there are more companions, or should we say more vassals of the Battanians anywhere. They might be hiding out somewhere, and then we're like, oh, there's another one, you know? They're just, you know, cropping out of, well, should we say, coming out of the woodwork, and we'll see what happens. But yeah, generally, I am very much enjoying the two-handed sword as well. It literally, I mean, come on, you know, to be fair, two-handed sword, it's always going to be fun, isn't it? It's always going to be fun to use. Ow, I think I might actually, yep, I think I might actually die here. I might actually die here, because I am, of course, charging into crossbowmen, and crossbowmen at the best of times are quite deadly, especially if they shoot you in the face, which they did tend to do quite a bit right there, but oh well, never mind. And now, let me see. I'm going to tell my infantry to charge in now. Now, it might also be the fact that the game's casualty chance has been reduced by the developers themselves, because someone else did actually mention that they are playing on the same version that I am, and they've not had any companion deaths. However, someone else mentioned, I think they were playing on the same version as well, and they did have some deaths. So I'm not entirely sure what's going on with that, but I suppose we'll find out in this episode. And we'll see whether the series continues. I mean, at least I think it's going to continue for a little bit of time, because I would like to see if we do get any deaths. But here's the thing, if I don't, and I make another series, then, well, then it's going to be a similar situation. We're going to go into fights, and, well, I mean, if I actually stay with the same theme, of course, because, well, to be fair, I probably won't stay with the same theme if we actually do create another, you know, another series, then it's highly unlikely that I'm going to do the same thing with companions, you know. We'll probably save that for another time, but I'll have to come up with another idea or something like that, and we'll see what happens otherwise. But yeah, as you can see, we lost no one. But if you actually take a look, you can see here we lost 19 units. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So only 12 companions were knocked unconscious. And as far as I am aware, there is... I had a look at the options again. There is a 99.5% chance for people to survive, as far as I'm aware. So that's what we kind of have to deal with right there. So there's a 0.5% chance for them to die. So if you think about that, and then you think about the fact that only 12 of them died, it's highly unlikely that any of them are going to literally perish as a result of that. So you should just bear that in mind. So it may very well be that there is no bug whatsoever, and it is just a case of, well, we just haven't been unlucky. That's it. We just haven't been unlucky, and the dice have been very, very kind to us so far. That might very well be the case instead. So try to keep an open mind about that, and we'll see what happens in this episode. Now bear in mind, I am at 85 war exhaustion at the moment, so I have to keep an eye on that. We have to keep a very close eye on that, because I really do not want to be in a situation where I allow the Battanians to get away with, you know, ending the war without paying a massive amount of money, because obviously I want them to pay as much money as possible when we end up making peace with them. So for example, as you can see right here, I could literally get 7,300 tribute right now if I proposed this particular peace agreement. And in my opinion, I think that's amazing. I think that's really good. However, that's not something that I'm wanting to do right now. So what we're going to do is I'm actually going to make my way over to Marunath. We're going to try and take it. This is probably not going to be very doable, but I will try it nevertheless, because I think it's going to be fun. But we will try to take it. Oh, look at that. I actually leveled up. Fantastic. Okay, so I actually did level up. That's great. And I'll put another focus point into two-handed. And... I'm not entirely sure where to put the attribute point. I'm thinking probably control or cunning. Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna increase my endurance with this, which is obviously the smithing perk, which increases my endurance by 1. So that's gonna max it out. And if I go to control, then obviously that's pretty good, because I am a bow user. Cunning is not really something I'm using that dramatically. I'm only having tactics, and as you can see, I actually have a pretty stunning amount of tactics already. So I'm going to go for control. That sounds pretty good to me. And now we're going to go into Marunath. Yes, we're going to go into Marunath and see what we can do there. That's a lot of enemies. Okay, that is a lot of enemies right there. Okay, so this is definitely going to give us a good test. This is going to be a perfect test for, well, any amount of casualties. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. And look at that. 250 against 750. A difference of 500 units, and yet the combat strength is so close, actually. Kind of funny. Alright, let's go for some fire catapults while I'm at it, and then we will go in. Actually, I don't want to go in right now, so you know what? No, I'm not going to make peace just yet. I'm going to just build a couple of siege engines, and then we're going to go in when it's not nighttime any further. I don't really like fighting at night for 2 reasons. Generally, it's going to reduce our archers' accuracy, but it's also going to be difficult for you to see, because... you know, video tends to get a little bit difficult to see when it's dark, especially in Mount and Blade, which is actually funny because that also happened in Warband. But I think they've done a much better job with the lighting in Bannerlord. It feels much lighter at night, and it could very well be that, you know, it might be the brightness or something of your device or your monitor or something like that. In the case of if you can't see during the night in Bannerlord, then you might need to increase that. Just as a by-the-by. Anyway, let me see if I can speed this up a little bit. Aha, hello there, sir. You are wanting to murder me, but I will not have it. There we are, very nice. Good amount of damage. Let's speed things up a little bit more. I'm getting shot. Let me... Oh yeah, two-handed sword. Yes, I forgot about that, but I have a two-handed, so my shield is the thing that I need to get out, and this guy is actually shooting me many, many times over. Okay. Well, seems like I'm going to need to go over here then. I will go over here, because I much prefer using the ladders rather than using the siege tower. I think the siege tower is... I think it's kind of a death sentence sometimes, so I much prefer using this. Oh my. Speaking of death sentence, this seems like a bit of a death sentence. Well, it seems like we're finally pushing onto the battlements right now. There we go, and I'm finally through. Wow, that was that was a huge slog, wasn't it? Oh yes, definitely took us a bit of time to get up here. And now, what's this? Look at this. Ah, seems like a little bit of storage or something like that. I'm actually not entirely sure, but apparently it's not interactable in the least, so I guess that doesn't really concern us. Oh, I've now reached 200 in two-handed. That's pretty cool. Alright, we're going to try for more, obviously. We're going to try and get more experience. Try and level up again. I totally meant to do that. Oh yes, totally. I mean, obviously, no, not at all, not at all. But still, it actually worked out quite nicely because I was then placed in a position where I could do even more damage to the enemy. And that is exactly what we want to see. Maybe I can finish up these guys here. And generally, I actually think I need to help out my forces. I don't think they would be able to win this by themselves. Do you think they would actually be able to win this by themselves? I think that would be an amazing feat. They might be able to do it. I don't know. Alright, so it seems like that is indeed a victory for us. Strong legs, let's go. There we go. Wow, 14 damage, literally. 14 damage is all we took from that fall. And I mean, you can imagine that, you know, if you were to increase that, that would be a pretty significant amount of damage. If we didn't have strong legs, that is. So, yeah, I think that is indeed that. And now we can make 2 more companions. And I will be making athletics, tactics, and roguery. I think that seems pretty good. There we are. Okay, great. And who did we lose? Okay, so now this is where it gets a little bit more... final, shall we say. Because if I see no casualties, which I think there are none... Yeah, there are indeed none. So it seems to me like, yes, something is definitely bugged. It seems like I would probably say the game itself is bugged because as I say, I did have a setting that was obviously shall we say, it was set improperly, but I have now since changed that, and it is now, back to the way it was before the setting was even implemented, basically. It's now completely, default, and that doesn't seem to be making any difference. So I'm not entirely sure what to do, to be honest, in that regard. Anyway, let's go into the dungeon here real quick, and I'm going to be placing all these prisoners in here, and once again we'll be going to improve garrison. Someone actually asked for my improved garrison settings. Now, here's the thing. As far as I'm aware, I haven't changed anything in regard to improved garrison. If you go to, as it says down here, the configuration manager is used to change many of the mod's values. Alt-G, do I want to press that right now? Alright, so I pressed Alt-G, and I just stopped talking for a second because I didn't know whether it was going to crash or whatever, but anyway, here you go. These are my mod settings right here. These are all default, by the way. I have literally not changed this in the least. This is basically my settings for that, and also these... Enable NPCs to create Garrison Guard. Wow, that's actually kind of crazy. That's amazing. Also, enables auto recruitment for all NPC garrisons. Yeah, someone actually mentioned that if I wanted to make this this playthrough much harder, what I could do is I could basically enable it so that the enemy would be able to have insanely large garrisons and stuff like that. And personally, I think that would be a pretty fun idea, but I think it would get very old very quickly because that's going to enable all kinds of crazy stuff, right? It's going to really just increase the amount of grind that has to be done. And in my opinion, that's just not fun. That's my own personal perspective on that. And they even give you some cheats as well if you want to use some. Generally, these are all default, obviously. These are all default. I've not done anything with Improved Garrison to change it in any way or another. I basically just go here, click this, put this to whatever I want it to be. So probably make it 360 or something like that. And then just click these two things, get that to tier 4, and that's it. That is literally all I do with Improved Garrison. And otherwise, let's take a look at the town real fast. Let's make sure that we have a nice amount of cash in there. It seems like what's going on with the NPCs? It seems like the NPCs don't do anything in regards to improving their towns. Look at this. There's basically nothing built here, which is really strange. I'm not entirely sure what's going on with that. But anyway, let's just wait here for some time. Wait until there may be some kind of retaliation. Doesn't seem like there's going to be honest. And what's going on here? Making peace with Vlandia. Okay, so it seems like we might want to make peace now. It seems like people may want to do that. Aha. Okay, yeah, they're actually saying yes because the Britannians are willing to pay a considerable tribute. So Polmark, what should we say, his younger brother, wants to do this. Personally, I don't really want to, but war exhaustion is starting to kick in relatively soon, and I don't really want to be in a situation where that is kind of... I mean, does it actually make any difference if I say no to this? I'm just thinking about the tribute, you see, because that's actually going to help many of my vassals. Okay, let's go with it then. Now, this is a big, kind of a big issue here as well, because a lot of the vassals, as you can see, are now going to be freed as a result of this peace agreement. As you can see right here, look at how far I had to literally scroll up, just literally because of so many Britannian vassals. They are all going to get freed because of this peace agreement. Now, let's just take a quick look. What else do they have in terms of territory? They have Seth, Dunglanis, Sionan, and all that stuff. Okay, so let's actually see who owns Sionan here real fast. Alright, this guy is not interactable at the moment, so let's have a look at Seth. This guy's also not interactable. I assume they have all just been released, so I'm going to have to wait for a little bit of time before I can actually do that. Now, Obviously, we have gained a significant amount of territory, even with the peace agreement, which I actually wanted to continue. I did want to go for Remtoil Castle. As you can see, the garrison there is extremely weak. I wanted to go for Sionen. I don't know what kind of garrison they have going on there, but generally, I think we probably would have had a decent shot at doing that. But let's actually see how much they're giving us. Where are the Botanians? There they are. Okay, so how much are they actually giving us right now? We've already received 6,900. Has it only been one day? Because if they're giving us 6,900 every single day, then that's pretty good. It doesn't seem like it actually shows me. I know that there is a place where you can go that actually shows you how much they're giving you. I think that might be on the encyclopedia screen or something. So let me actually just have a quick look. No, it doesn't. Okay, where was that, by the way? Because I remember seeing it very distinctly and then being like, oh, that's where you can see that stuff. You know, just literally realizing it and then being like, oh, yes, that's amazing. Yes, I would definitely like to utilize that particular piece of information more because it could be kind of useful. Anyway, we're just going to sell a bunch of stuff. Let's actually get our people equipping some things. Actually, I should not do this. I have made a grievous error once again. So we're going to have to go through all of these guys. We'll let that guy do his own thing, and that's absolutely fine. Okay, so everyone else is all good. Now let's just sell all this armor. Another 94,000 right there. And we should probably make another clan, shouldn't we? So let's make a couple of extra clans right now. So let's make... I'm kind of thinking Pelagos right now, because Pelagos... Actually, wait a minute. I'm not thinking Pelagos. I think he's actually one of our guys with the roles. I'm actually not entirely sure who these people are. Yeah, that's also a bit of a problem with having so many companions. You can't tell, because if I click on this, you can see here the menu goes too high, so you can no longer see. No, I removed him. Oh, I did not mean to do that. I did not mean to. Okay, that's bad. All right. Oh no, I can't select anyone else, as you can see. Oh dear. I seem to have made a slight problem for us now. I guess I will have to give someone else... Oh no, it's gonna have to be me, isn't it? I don't have anything in engineering at all. I did that by mistake because I thought that meant close the menu, but it actually removes him. Ah, no. Oh dear. Okay, well, guess that's what I get, eh? That's what I get for being, well, for not knowing. Oh well, never mind. Okay, so let's have a look. Now I'm... okay, well. What can you do, eh? What can you do? Okay, so what about this guy? Urik the Rider. Wish to reward you for your services, sir. And you are going to be given Marunath. There we are. And we will call him... Bluster Thunder. Yes. There we go. He has a lot of bluster. Indeed. He has a lot of bluster. That's perfect. Perfect for him, right? Yes, absolutely. I mean, he is a Sturgeon, so thunder kind of goes kind of well with him, right? Right? Anyway, let's give him 200,000 once again. Boom. And there we have it. Okay, so let's actually take a look at Melodia, because he's the one that owns... there we go. We can actually send a messenger to him, and we might be able to buy something from him. I'm hoping that we'll be able to buy Cairban Seth. Actually, I could ask him... Oh, he's actually willing to join us. Okay, should we try and just get him to join us, like straight up? Let's do it. All right, there we go. And oh yeah, I can actually trade his fiefs as well. This is really, really fantastic. Okay, so he has 423,000 right now. He literally would want that much. I mean, obviously not to join us, but he would want that much in general. So what about if I literally just get Cairban Seth? How much can I get? I can get it for 2 million. That's way too much, in my opinion. What about just the castle then, sir? What about just the castle? That's not too bad. 1 million. I think that's actually kind of doable. All right, let's do it. And let's get the castle. So there we go. So we basically got the castle, and we got another vassal. Now bear in mind, I'm probably not. I'm not gonna kick him. Okay, I'm not gonna kick the vassals. I'm gonna leave them where they are. But generally, I'm not gonna be doing that often. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. And who's the other guy again? This guy, right? This guy right there. Oh, he's not available just yet. That's kind of strange. Okay, who owns Dunglanis then? Urgion. Okay, he kind of likes us. Not a great deal, but he kind of does. Owner of Pendrake Castle is now being decided. Isn't that me? I thought I was the owner of Pendrake Castle. Okay, so... oh, no. I don't want to do this. Sorry, sir. Sorry. Okay, so let's actually just go and have a look. How much do you want? Yes, he wants a huge amount, of course, as you might expect. Okay, what about the castle? I would be happy to take the castle off your hands, sir, for 1 million. Sure. There we go. And should I try to persuade him to join us? Maybe that would make sense. Let's have a look and see whether he actually... Yep, okay. He's willing to do it. Okay, I'm kind of intrigued. How far can we... Oh. 90% did not work. Oh, well, 99% is definitely going to work. All right, there we go. Okay, so he's going to join us. I'm going to give him a small amount of money. Wow, literally, he doesn't care? He literally just needs 12,000. Okay, that's really funny. All right, so now he has joined us. Obviously, we just gave him 1 million gold, so I think he's probably going to be pretty happy with us. And, okay, let's see what else we can do then, shall we? So, who owns Sargot for the moment? Who owns that? Ingaltha. Last seen at Sargot today. Isn't he right here? I'm right here as well, so wait a minute. He's not... I mean, he's not here, but someone else is. I'm actually not entirely sure. He's not in the dungeon, right? No, he's not in the dungeon. He surely can't be in the tavern either. No, he's not in the tavern either. Okay. So where is Ingaltha? Because I can't send a messenger to him. This is very strange. I can only assume that he has been defeated in battle. And we may have to wait for him to restore himself, potentially. Okay, well, what about... I was hopeful that Ingaltha might join us because he is a relatively strong... He is a relatively strong vassal and he has a pretty high tier clan as far as I'm aware. He has, I think, tier 5 or something like that. So, in my opinion, that's pretty good. So if we could get him to join, then that would be fantastic, but it seems like we are not getting that luck. So what about Usank Castle? What about this guy? Okay, yeah, he's got a good relation with us as well. So this is a bit of an experiment on my part, because I generally would like to increase my overall faction strength. And if I can do that by, well, convincing a whole bunch of vassals to join us, then obviously that's great, you know. Oh, look at that. I can literally get this guy for 5,000. That's actually incredible. All right, so there we go. We got him for 5,000, and you know what? I just don't have enough money, you know? I feel like I don't have enough money at the moment, which is kind of hilarious considering we have a pretty significant amount. I'm going to give this guy another fief. And we're going to have to give him a castle, I think. Or actually, Pencannock. I do own Pencannock. But Pencannock has a huge amount of prisoners inside it. So I'm thinking Charis would probably be a little bit better for him to own. So I'm going to give him Charis. There we go. And we're going to be calling him Theongaro. Yes, there we go. Very good. That's a fantastic name if ever I saw one. Yes. You could very well see the greatest writers of our time coming up with that kind of name. Oh yes, indeed. Okay, so we're once again going to be giving him around 200,000 just to make sure that he is well off for the moment. And he's going to do a great job. Don't worry, he's going to do a fantastic job. And now what we would like to do is see who else is a part of the Battanians. Wait a minute. That is not the way you check that. Yes, don't do what I just did. That was not embarrassing in the least. Oh yes, indeed. Okay, wow, what about Mr. Prindor? Oh, he hates us. He'll never join. Yes, no wonder, no wonder. He is negative for relation with us. There is no way. He has 200,000. Oh, he's willing to listen to us. Wow, okay, I'm very surprised. 100% chance? Okay. Apparently he is willing to listen. Okay, this is really, really interesting. Okay, so what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to give him a castle, okay? I'm going to give him a castle, and I'm going to give him something, one of his castles, so a Batanian castle or whatever. I'm going to give him Lanark Hen Castle, and we're going to pay him a little bit of cash. Wow. Really? I literally have to pay him every single thing I have? Okay, that doesn't sound particularly good, does it? Okay, what about this? Okay, so we'll give him 2 castles, and then he will join. Yes. Okay, sure. Let's just take a chance on these guys, alright? Let's take a chance on these guys and see what happens, because I'm thinking to myself, if he decides to leave us, then taking those castles back is not going to be that big a deal. I don't think it's going to be too bad. So, there we go. Now they are a part of ours, and then what about this guy? Okay, so let's have a look at this guy, and let's see what we can do with him. Now, as I say, this is a bit of an experiment on my part, because I would very much like to find out whether we can make a mega faction. And I'm talking about a faction that has so many lords, all working for the same common goal. I think we might be able to do something really, really cool here, but it really depends, obviously. It really depends on a variety of factors, and we don't know whether it's actually going to work at this point. But it would be amazing if it could. He has Remtoil Castle at the moment. I would like to actually give him something. So what if I give him this castle, and I take Remtor Castle from him? Because here's the thing, if I convert him to us, he loses ownership of Remtor Castle. So it kind of makes sense for us to actually do this. And then I'll give him a little bit of cash left over. He has enough cash, as you can see right there. So that's looking pretty good. So now he has joined us. We also have Remtor Castle and the other castle that we're looking after, so that's really good. And let's have a look at Sionon again. Who's the guy? This guy. Yeah, we still can't send a messenger to him for some reason. I really have no idea why that is happening, but apparently we can't. Okay, so what about Dunglanis again? Caladog. Okay, yeah, forget that. Okay, what about Caravan Seth then? That's also Caladog, because obviously it's defaulted to the leader now. Okay, good to know. And Sargot, what about that guy? Is he available yet? No, he's still not available. So that's kind of interesting in itself, kind of weird. And we've got a bunch of sieges going on here, but we've also reduced the overall strength of Batania by a pretty significant amount. Let's just take a look and see what other people we might be able to persuade. This guy has bad traits as far as I recall, so I'm not going to go for him. Aradweir's got okay... he doesn't really like us anyway, so we're probably not going to be speaking to him. This guy's got okay relation with us, and he is... I mean, he's got some kind of bad traits, I guess. What about this one? Ooh, probably not. I think that's actually it. The rest are all mercenaries. That's actually hilarious. Okay, I will try to get Mr. Aaron to join us then. I will try to get him. And then we'll see what happens. Bear in mind that obviously at the moment I have no people to actually wage war against, so this is kind of a good thing to do in my off time, I suppose you could say, but we'll see. Maybe I'll declare war on someone in just a second, and then we can go to war against them with our newfound allies, who are willing to stab us in the back at the first possible opportunity. What do you bet? Oh yes, what do you bet? Okay, Verexand Castle. No, I really don't want to give him another castle. Yep, that's enough. 14,000. All right, yep. Okay, so let's let the game run a little bit. All right, so I think it's about time that we take a look at my newfound combat strength. And I'm talking about my faction's combat strength here. So let's have a look And you can see here we have so many new clans in the kingdom. So this is going to be kind of interesting. We have 12,350. That's actually kind of amazing. And I would also like to declare war against Vlandia if at all possible. You could see here that we have a 94% support rate for declaring war against the Vlandians. And I am very much happy with that. So that's exactly what we're going to do. And I am going to tell every single person to go on the offense. That's what we're going to do. We're going to go super offensive here. And I will be attempting to take a Veron Castle myself, which is very close by, of course. Okay, so let's do that. It seems like my engineering skill's not bad. Seems like it's doing okay. Let's actually build a couple of things while I have the ability to do so, because I would like to increase my engineering skill. What a mistake to make, eh? I think I had someone literally with around I don't know what it was, 300 or 350 engineering or something like that, but now look at it. Ugh, it's absolutely terrible. Okay, increase shield hit points by 30%. Increase speed damage bonus with two-handed weapons by 20% while on foot. That sounds pretty good. Gonna go for that. And yeah, look at that. My engineering skills leveling up pretty nicely. But as I say, I'm basically just going to let a couple of siege engines be built while I have the opportunity, because then I'm going to be able to get all these new perks and everything, and it's really going to make a somewhat significant difference. Because if we can get those things that increase your shield's hit points, for example, then it's all good, you know? It's all nice little bonuses here and there that can help us survive. Just a little bit more. Anyway, ranged siege engines are 25% less likely to be hit while bombarding settlements. In my opinion, that is an absolutely fantastic perk. And we will now be going inside. There we go. Alright, so this is obviously going to be one of those times where we will extremely easily win. Yes, I mean, there's no beating around the bush about it, basically. This is one of those times where we can basically just sit back, do nothing. All our forces are going to completely murder everything. And that's it. Indeed. That is gonna be all she wrote. Yes, just like that. Just like that. Alright. And I will be... should I rescue these guys? Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna rescue some of these troops. Why not? I might as well. And then we'll just take the loot too. And we will show some mercy. And I'm actually not... You know what? I am going to claim it. I am going to claim the fief. I am claiming the fief. There's a reason for that, obviously. I very badly want to try and persuade more people, because I think that's actually really fun. I mean, I like doing it. Maybe it's just kind of annoying to some of you, but I don't know. I think it's a lot of fun to, you know, partake in the persuasion system and to use everything in the game, you know, for the maximum amount of enjoyment. At least that's what I like to do. Okay, who's that over there, by the way? I've noticed that that fellow has a pretty large... Wow. Part of the forest people. Yeah, he has a very large army. So, okay, well, nothing really to concern myself with at the moment. And, look at this! The Sharasa brothers! The Sharasa brothers have... two different armies. Lath is running around with 322, and Thul is running around with 480 something. So that's actually amazing. And he is engaging Durthart's party, if you can believe it. That's pretty amazing in itself. And I'm going to be going in against Usank Castle here. And we're going to be increasing our engineering even further. So let's just continue to build these. Build some more of those as well. And just get... Oh, we lost! Are you serious? Thul actually lost. If you can believe it. He actually lost. Wow. Okay, that's kind of sad, to be honest. That is kind of sad. I was very much hoping that he would achieve victory there, especially considering the Vlandians have such a... Well, no offense, but they have a very low combat strength, so I would have expected Thul to be able to very easily achieve victory. Now that Ingalther is out of wherever he is, I'm actually going to speak to him. I'm going to send a messenger to him right away. Seems like we're going to have to go into the castle first and participate in the siege. and then we will hopefully have our messenger ready to speak to him. And I'm just going to go up here, going to get off my horse. And, oh, I did not mean to do that. No, I did not mean to do that. Thank you very much. Yeah, if you didn't know, if you haven't seen that before, then this will come as a surprise to you. But if you have seen it before, then you know exactly what kind of hilarity can ensue when you use it. But yes, generally what you can do is you can phase through walls when you use the super speed mod. When it's active, you can phase through walls. So for example, if I try to go through here, yeah, did you see that? I can literally go through the bridge. Underneath the bridge. You can also go through gates and things like that as well. So if you wanted to, you could literally go right through the castle gate. Obviously, that's a complete bug. I mean, it's not really a bug, so to speak, but it's more of a case of the game engine isn't updating as fast as it possibly needs to update the character's position. Something like that is happening. And as a result, I am able, or should we say Barney is able to phase through solid objects. And obviously this is something that, you know, you can use to cheat if you want, but generally, I mean, there's really no need in this case for me. I mean, you know, if you want to have fun doing that, then the option is there. The option is there. I mean, that's the point. These kinds of things are all optional, and yeah, if you want to use them, go right ahead. I'm not going to stop you. It's a single-player game, you know, whatever you want to do. But for me, I'm not going to use it unless it's for something amusing, you know, like this. Aha! Oh, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Literally, we took... did we take 0 damage? I think we took 0 damage. I think I probably would have taken 0 damage otherwise. Oh, Polmark is actually leveled up. That's pretty cool. That's really nice to see him actually level up. Seems like my forces are kind of not really doing anything at the moment either. Okay, so let's do tactics, roguery, and all that stuff. There we are, fantastic. And yeah, once again, no casualties, no casualties. But yeah, I can't really do much about that, unfortunately. Okay, so let's just take all the loot, show mercy. I'll claim the fief, and then we will be placing these guys in the dungeon. There we are, and we're going to do the same thing with improved garrison here as well. Where is Usank Castle? There it is. Let's do that. Let's just increase it by a random amount, and then we'll do that. There we are. Okay, that is fantastic. So hopefully Ingaltha, there we are. Now we can speak to Ingaltha, and hopefully, because he is not in an army, I should be able to speak to him very nicely. And yeah, you can see here that we are definitely friends with him. We literally have 81 relation with him, which is actually amazing. So there we are. He's actually going to be joining us, and I'm going to take Sargot from him. But you know what I'm actually going to give him in exchange? I'm thinking I'll give him Praven. What do you bet? Should I actually give him Praven? Because here's the thing, okay? Am I of Vlandian culture? No, I think I'm Azerai culture, aren't I? Yeah, I think I'm Azerai culture, so it basically makes no difference whatsoever what kind of fief I have. But let's just say that I want to persuade him. You can see here, I don't have enough money to be able to do that. So I'm going to need to utilize some other thing to be able to get him on our side. I could give him a couple of castles. What about that? How about a couple of castles? That might make sense. So what about... oh, that seems pretty good. Okay, Turby Castle is actually fantastic, apparently. He really loves Turby Castle for some reason, and I can give him 237,000. So, in other words, we are getting Sargot under our control. He's joining us, and he's getting a massive amount of cash, as well as a castle to look after. I think that sounds like a good deal for all parties involved. And there you go. So, fantastic. Look at that. That's pretty cool. And now we have Sargot, and now we can hopefully do something about the various defeats that are currently going on. And aha, Dirthart's army itself is right here. Alright, we're going to change our war strategy then, because apparently offensive is not working. So let's go for balanced once more. And Sargot is very lightly defended, so that might be a bit of an issue. But anyway, I think that's probably going to be it for this episode. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.